Well, and welcome everyone again. Little hot mic with you. Andy Lindahl, Scott Hastings with you.
Scott Hastings and Andy Lindahl. Dunnell.
I don't know how you'd go Lindanl. Lindenall? Lindanal?
Lindahl. Lindahl.
Crazy.
Lindahl.
Yeah. But you know what? The sign works well enough, so we're going with it. And I don't know. Yet again, here I am trying to lose my voice again. I don't know what's going on. It's been quite the interesting fall for me. So anyway, and now we're into winter. All right.
We're
Look,
almost into spring,
yeah,
Hammer
I know.
Bone. We're about
It
ready.
feels
We're
like
about
every
ready
three
to
weeks
flip
it
the
does this to
clock.
me. I don't know why. So
We're
whatever.
flipping the clock in a week or so, ain't we?
Two.
Well, there you go.
A week and a half. Not this Sunday, but a week from. So look, man, I don't know. I don't got any answers for it. Whatever. But we're rolling. So let's do it. All right. We just had, it was wild today. Let's start out with a couple of really news of the day items, but I am curious, dude. I think we all wanted Payton to let Davis Webb call plays. Now, again, this does not guarantee that it's going to go well, right? But I'm happy we're going to give it a crack. Were you surprised though that he would? Did you think we'd find all this out today at the combine? I did not.
On my show, I was the one who said, "Yeah, what? I think he's just going to come out and say it. Yeah, here it is. Blah blah blah. It's best for the team." Basically, what he said, I thought he'd say. Yes.
Okay.
You get it done with. You get it over with. The Buffalo guy kind of leaked it anyway. The Buffalo
Yeah,
GM.
Brandon Bean.
So yeah, no, I think it's a wise thing. I mean, if you go back to the hints, even Sean Payton had throughout the season, as far as he's got to be quicker and faster getting plays in. You had a timeout. You wasted a timeout in the AFC Championship game in the first and the second half because you didn't get the plays in time. So if that eliminates that right there alone, I think it's going to be better. And listen, I know it's a preseason game, but your best offensive performance, maybe of the whole year, was the one preseason game with Stidham. And the way that game against New England turned out, I think I would have liked Davis to be handling the play call in that one too.
Fair enough. I don't know. It's look, I'm shocked he did it today. I thought we dragged this on a little bit. But like you said, it's probably best. It's probably best that he got it over with, and now there's not a bunch, hanging out, trying to figure out what this is. It's not going to be what we talk about all throughout the off season. It's just handled and over with, right? What should be our expectation? What do you think? How do you think this is all? Because again, Scotty, what I am going to be curious to watch. Nate told me today they averaged about 23 points a game last year. Okay. 23 points. Defense chipped in on a little of that. Ultimately, because Sean said today that he's going to, he'll still call some plays. And I joked with Nate. I said, yeah, the plays, he's going to call the red zone and he's going to call third down. And, unless if it's 3rd and 14 from your own 20, he'll let Davis Webb have those. All the ones that the quarterbacks joke there's no good play for. Do you think we should expect a lot to be different, or do you think it's going to look still fairly the same?
It's
with
why
maybe some better pace.
I always push back on even talking football this time of year. I'm not a big combine guy. I mean, I like the combine. I like to watch the combine. Draft guy, whatever. We won't know until August when those guys get in there. You ain't even going to know anything in OTAs. You don't see anything and know anything in OTAs.
No, I mean, look, what we see is the same drill over and over and over again.
Yeah, so you're not going to know anything till the game starts, till they start doing some live hitting and everything else in preseason. You just don't know. You don't know if a guy can play. You don't know if a guy's going to be great. Dobbins, if we're being real honest, didn't do anything special in preseason, and most of the practice I watched and the preseason games, and yet by far, he was your best running back, and you missed the hell out of him when he was gone. So I'm kind of let's see and wait. What do I expect? Well, I called for Davis Webb to start calling plays about week 2. So I thought it should have been done, or in fact, it might have even been before that, before the season started. I said, let's make Davis Webb the play caller after that second exhibition game. I think it's good to have young blood. You got a young blood quarterback. You got a young blood uh, uh, um, offensive coordinator now that you're going to be able to grow with each other. I think that's a good relationship. I don't think it was a bad relationship with Sean, but I don't think he's in that same circle. Ain't going to fly in the same circle. You know, the one thing we forget about when Elway and Shanahan, I mean, they were fairly close in age. They weren't terribly, you know, 5-6 yards or years difference, maybe something like that. And when he was the play caller, so I like the whole thing. What are my expectations? I don't know. Who's running the ball? What's our wide receiver? Who's the guy who's the tight end that's going to show up this year? Is the offensive line going to play all 17 games for the most part and stay healthy? I don't know. I think Davis Webb will be fine. I don't buy into the old BS that you've got to sit there and put your 15, 20 years in and just get jaded by everything else that goes on in pro sports, not just football, but all that crap that you got to go through. And then, now be the offensive coordinator and go talk to a 22-year-old.
All right, fair enough. Let me rephrase the question. Will it be tough for Davis Webb to manage a bunch of Sean's coaches at positions? Because basically it's still his whole staff.
Well, I mean, it looks like there's 5 or 6 new guys coming in on the offensive side of the football. So,
yeah, but
I don't
Curry
know
was his guy. Jeff Morton was his guy.
Well,
I mean, most of these guys have some connection to Sean at some point during their career.
well, that's what coaches all do anyway. If they don't, I'll be shocked if there's any issues.
Okay. All right.
I'll be shocked if Davis Webb does this job more than 2 years.
Well, okay, but does the job see the interesting thing is going to be does the job change at another location or does the job change here? So
No, I think he's the OC, and I think his next stop is a head coach somewhere.
well, I think it could be here, quite honestly.
Well, you got 2 years. You know what? You got 2 years of Sean Payton's contract left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this could be part of the grooming to get Davis Webb ready to be a head coach here.
You know what? I'm excited that it happened. I'll be curious to watch how it goes. There's no guarantee it's going to work. Like you said, we'll start to find out, we'll find out in September, but I'll be real curious to see how this goes. And then, but I also won't be shocked if there's some growing pains at the beginning. And so I hope nothing is like immediately taken back or anything like that. All right. Another topic of conversation. Sam Girard was traded today. How shocked were you by that?
Did you happen to look at the video I sent you? Those.
No, I didn't have a chance to look at it, but look, man, I read it up. Look, dude. I said it to Nate on the air, and I realized Sam Girard seeing the tweet from Gabe, there was a tweet from DNVR, there was a tweet from Gorilla, a bunch of the bloggers put out the cut from Gabe talking about, he was just a kid when he got here. I'm gonna miss him. He was a good teammate. Blah blah blah. He's clearly immensely liked by his teammates, so good for him. And I know there's a number of fans that really liked him too. But I said to Nate, the bottom line is too many times in the playoffs, for my taste, Sam Girard is an incredible regular season player in my mind. Moves the puck well, good puck moving defense and all that kind of stuff.
Which you and I have been talking about for a while.
Yeah. But there's too many times come regular season, he was half the size of the forward he was trying to move off the crease, period.
Well, so, if you go back and listen to that hockey podcast soundbite I sent you, and the one guy basically said the same thing. Said Sam Girard's a fine hockey player, really good. But when the game slows down and possessions change a little bit, you need a little bit more lead in the pencil, so to speak, as a defenseman. And, he even put Malinsky, he said, you got Malinsky and Girard and two of your guys in your bottom four are too small. So I like this. I Sam Girard's a nice guy. I've talked to him one time. I rode down an elevator with him in Boston. Had a nice short, 40-second conversation.
Was that when you both shared a hotel there? As
Yeah, we both were sharing a hotel in Boston. I ended up doing the color on the game with Connor.
Okay, right on.
And happened to be just riding down with him. I use this comparison today. We had the guy on, the Jesse Montoya from Guerrilla Sports today.
Yeah, Jesse Montano.
And Jesse Montoya. Say hello to my little friend. And I said, he reminds me of Ty Lawson. Ty Lawson in an 82-game NBA season is so fast. You're playing 3 games in 4 nights, 4 games in 5 nights, 5 games in 9 nights, which I think the Nuggets have coming up here or something like that. They're great because teams can't prepare. Teams aren't ready. And they're not practicing. And size isn't going to matter because, his speed is going to kill you. When Sam Girard first got in here, if you remember, we were blown away with his speed and puck handling.
Yeah, it was amazing.
We'd never seen that from a defenseman, especially. We had questions, kind of like McCarr. Why isn't this guy up on a forward? Why didn't he play in the center? That was how quick he handled the puck and everything else. But you get down when it slows. Even the year they won it, a nasty hit fractured his sternum. Now, that could have just been a nasty hit that fractured his sternum. But does that happen to a 205-pound dude? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But you and I have been clamoring for this for years. And Sam's the guy because he is good enough to get something for him. And then the other thing that they point out too, listen, this is you're taking $5 million off your cap this year, $5 million off your cap next year, and if the guy doesn't work out, here we go. You save $5 million.
Brett Kulak, he's 6'1", 195. What I thought was funny was, I heard Jared Bednar talk about him. He kept saying that the guy eats minutes, plays a lot of minutes, sounds a lot like Ryan Lindgren, the defenseman they traded for from the Rangers last year. So I think he'll be good. He's got a lot of playoff experience. He knows what he's getting into.
Been to 2 or 3 finals, I think.
Yeah, I went to back-to-back finals, matter of fact, with Pittsburgh a while back. And so, look, you're talking about a guy, you now have a Brett Burns, a Josh Manson, and a Kulak, where if you wanted to, you could pair your 3 offensive defensemen with a stay-at-home defenseman if you chose to. I'm not saying they will, and I'm not saying Devon Taves can't stay back and help out McCarr. But again, you could have McCarr and Taves now in necessary situations if you feel like you're protecting a lead or whatever, where one gets aggressive and the other hangs back. It just gives you options that I think you like. Now, does that happen? Probably not. And like you said, you save some money, and saving that money may allow you to go get another big forward so that what did Team Canada not do in these Olympics, Scotty? Well, in that gold medal game, they got a million great shots, but you know what they didn't do? They did not take the eyes of Connor Hellebuck away. Because of that, you couldn't see him really scoring him. That's just a reminder of what you got to do come playoff hockey time. So
that's true. Listen, I always say in the NBA playoffs, the game goes from no matter how fast you play, it comes to a half-court game.
It's all playoffs in all sports, is it not?
Yep, same thing with hockey. And you know what? Go back to the AFC Championship game. Kind of the same way, wasn't it?
Hey, here's what I know. I don't care what you're playing. Scoring becomes hard when you get to the playoffs and the championship round.
Especially the deeper you go.
Yeah. Remember, the Nuggets weren't high flying and just hooping it up on Miami. Those were close, tough defensive games. So, when the Avs beat the Lightning, we were sweating the goaltending. You may get one or two games that break loose like that, but for the most part, one team's not smoking the other. You
You
got
know,
to have good, solid defense.
when the Avs won their Stanley Cup in 22, I think they shocked the world, and I think you and I were shocked because I think we were doing some podcasts then.
Oh, yeah.
Because especially in the first few rounds, and even the Lightning in at least three of those wins, the speed just killed.
Yep.
Speed killed St. Louis. The speed. There was one game, the Lightning. Remember the one game, the first game there, they slushied up the ice and
Yep.
everything else to slow them down. Well, the league got smarter and realized the way you get a fast guy, you put a body on him,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden that fast guy, speed ain't killing. So now, how do you run between the tackles, so to speak? And listen, we'll talk about the Nuggets too, and have you wasted some years of Joker? I mean, I think it's fair to say because you haven't got out of the second round, past the
Yep.
second round since you won it. But guess what the Avs haven't done since they won it? Got out of the second round. So here we go. You better be able to run through the tackles, you know, and play dirty football, dirty basketball, dirty hockey when the playoffs come.
No, I don't disagree with you. And at the end of the day, look, we started to see before the Olympic break where basically teams are like, you know what, you're not free skating through the neutral zone. We're not letting you have that anymore. We're gonna just sit here and we're gonna play boring hockey. We're gonna catch your passes. If you don't complete them, we're gonna dump them back into your end of the ice. We're gonna slow the game up and it's gonna be brutal and you're just gonna have to deal with it. And they've got to be able to combat that this upcoming year. So I hope that happens. All right. I know you've talked a little bit about it with DMAC. Because Scotty, I think you remember the Miracle on Ice better than I do. I was 5 at the time. But I will say that gold medal hockey game look, man, that's probably one of the bigger events of my lifetime as far as an Olympic event goes. Very, very, very cool. My favorite memory is still, and I'm not a big proponent of the pros, but the dream team is still really cool just to see all those guys out there playing that kind of competitive game. Where's it going to rank for you as a guy that enjoys the Olympics? Because again, I don't think it can overtake the Miracle on Ice because it was our kids versus their pro athlete men in my mind.
That's me too.
True underdogs is what we were there.
Well, let's go back. We'll start with the 1980, and I was 12 years old. And I remember the times. I remember, gas stations not having gas, or, if your license plate ended in an odd number, you could go on Tuesday, Thursday,
right,
Saturday, and if it was on an even number, you could go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I remember all those times. I remember, we used to do nuclear fallout drills in our grade school.
I remember that. I had to do a couple of those get under your desk in case. I don't know what we thought getting under the desk was going to do against a nuclear bomb, but we did it anyway.
Well, guess who was going to bomb us? The Russians.
Right. The Cold War was in full grip.
The Cold War was in full force. And the funny thing is, people don't remember also, the U.S. team scrimmaged, had scrimmage games against the Russian team like 8 or 10 times, and were like 0-10. They lost to them like 10 straight times playing hockey. I mean, it was, that little era with the Red Wings with the big red machine, right? Remember that when they were so dark?
Oh yeah.
Well, that was 25 guys on Russia's national team. That's how they were. They were. I don't even know if people know this. They would scrimmage pro teams and kick NHL pro teams' ass. That's how good they were. And now you got a bunch of kids who are all college kids, most of them for, Massachusetts or Minnesota, it seemed like. And it was a true underdog. And that's why it will always, for Olympics, be right up there, one of the coolest moments I've ever been able to witness. This one, I didn't have animosity to Canada. I had 3 guys on the team that I'm going to cheer my ass for the next 27 games or
Yeah,
26 games
I'm with you.
plus playoffs. I didn't want anybody to get hurt. I wasn't fearful of it as you were, but I had no animosity. I want the USA to win. Let's go. But it wasn't. I mean, it was just a good. I just thought it was a good hockey game. I thought it was just a good hockey game. I don't think it has any national relevance as far as or international relevance.
Other than it's a
I just
rivalry
thought
because
it was,
there's guys that hate each other on both teams, and so it makes it a bit of a rivalry. But
well, thank you, Kachuk brothers, right? I mean,
yeah, yeah.
they
Well, and Sam Bennett
and
Sam Bennett
listen,
and Jordan Bennington. I hate them too.
the only reason this game was as big as some people play it out to be, D-Max one of them, was because what we saw a year earlier,
Yeah,
that when it started, everybody crapped on the Four Nations tournament before it was so. Why are we stopping play in the league to have this thing? This is BS. What's going on? This is the dumbest thing. These aren't even the best 4 countries. Blah 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 blah. Crapped on it. And then the first game between Canada and the U.S. and you got 3 fights, to start the game. You're like, hello, we better pay attention to some. What they care? This isn't just exhibition. Whoa, whoa, whoa! But that 4 nations made the energy for this game more relevant. Now, if Canada would have just whooped them and there wouldn't have been any fights and they just streaked through the whole thing, Canada's that's their sport. I don't. If it wasn't for the 4 nations, this game would have just been, oh shoot, America lost, or hey, America won. What do you know? We beat those guys we can't beat. And now I'll throw this out at you. We remember Miracle Ice, and it was 46 years ago. Because for the most part, as far as a gold medal team, the USA hasn't really been relevant, have they?
no, not really.
So that adds a little interest. If this is the start of America winning gold every 4 years or every 8 years, they alternate. Doesn't it kind of take away from this game?
It will. It depends on what happens moving forward. You're right. And look, we don't even know yet for sure if the pros are going to be allowed to play in the next one, right? Because the NHL keeps going back and forth as to what they're going to do about it. So,
well, when guys miss their paid gig for
like
this,
Mikko Rantanen is now going to because he's on long-term IR.
who is
Mikko Rantanen for the Stars. He got hurt, lower body injury.
so?
You think Stars fans are psyched?
Yeah, you think they're excited? And listen, you don't think there's going to be a couple guys miss the first game or two coming back from the Olympics?
I don't think any of the gold medal participants are playing tomorrow in Utah. I might be wrong.
So, but they still get paid.
Right.
They ain't giving up 1/82nd of their salary.
No, I know.
So, and listen, I thought the Olympics were great, and it was, I liked some of the downhill skiing. I watched some of the ice skating. I know you probably had to watch a bunch of it in your house. I watched the heck out of curling. But the hockey was the best. And not just the finals. There was a lot of great games. And the women too. The women's side too. I mean, think about the semifinals and finals in the men, the finals in the women, all overtime games. Pretty good stuff, man. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it was a fun Olympics. I also think Milan and Cortina were beautiful cities to watch events in. Just the wide shots of the architecture. What a beautiful country. Made you want to go and visit there. At least it made me want to go and visit there because holy cow. Again, what beautiful lands. The incredibleness of Lindsey Vonn nearly getting her leg amputated, telling you how much every 4 years means to people. Look, I like the bobsledding. I got into the bobsledding. I got into the skeleton. I watched a bunch of curling. I'm not going to tell you I've fallen in love with curling, but I watched way more than I
feels
ever
like
have
it
in the
feels like
past.
after they throw the stone and they switch ends,
Yeah.
they should have a draft beer sitting up on that little counter behind them where the coaches are sitting.
Yeah. Why not? Let it feel
They
more
should have a
real.
couple beers right there. They should be able to take a chug of a beer, go out. Okay, here we go.
Why not?
Of course, beer. Think about curling on a smaller dimension is just shuffleboard. And when you think about in all the years you've ever played shuffleboard, beer is a performance enhancer.
Why not? Huh? It's like darts.
Yeah, there's a nice curve with
Yeah.
beer and darts, beer and shuffleboard. Like if you can just stay at that peak, but it's that second pitcher and that third pitcher you order, then all of a sudden you can't stick it on the table.
Well, I mean, but your ability to care also.
Yeah, that's true too.
Your skill goes this way. Your ability to give a damn about it goes this way, right?
Yeah.
Pub sports. We have a pub sport Olympics. Why not? So, all right, Nuggets. Give me your Nuggets take. How worried are we? Because you know what? Before the All-Star break, Joker said he wasn't worried. So I was like, good enough for me. That man doesn't lie to us. But then after the game the other night against Golden State, he made the comment that I know you heard and saw that, yeah, we're not executing well when we need to. And I'm paraphrasing. What's the level of concern
I
should
don't know
be?
what's going on, but we're not executing. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Or is it all a matter of just let's get guys
wanna
healthy and quit crying?
I don't want to get off my camera, but I got a whole bunch of stats I'll bring out tomorrow for the game. I'll just stick with the ones I remember from February. Denver is 1-5 this month in what's the games? The close games called? They're called. I got a phrase for them. Anyway, it's within 5 points in the last 5 minutes. 6 points in the last 5 minutes. They're 1-5 in those games, so 6 times. Aaron Gordon's missed all 6. Payton Watson's played in 1. My big take this week, and I shared it with you, and I asked the Dan Hyatt, who does all these stat stuff. You guys have him on the show all the time. I said, "Who's the third option?" They ain't have one.
Nothing.
They don't have one. And I've asked people, who's the third option when they want it? Well, one guy might be Gordon, but then they go, well, but Porter was there too. And I go, yeah. Or some would say Porter, but Gordon was there too. And then they start thinking, they go, well, KCP would hit some big shots too, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In clutch, it's called clutch minutes. And last year in clutch games, and everybody, and Chris Marlowe's one of those guys too, they're going to talk all defense. But I tell you, if you're going 0 for 0 for 0 for, and you're not putting pressure, if you're not 7, they cut it to 5. You go to 7, they cut it to 5. You go to 7, they cut it to 4. You go to 6, you stop them. You go to 9, you go to 6. You win the game because now the pressure, now the game speeds up because that clock's ticking. And if you ain't making no shots and you're just turning the ball over, they're averaging almost 4 turnovers a game in February in clutch games. Almost 4, which leads the league, by the way, for games like that. Last year in clutch games in the fourth quarter, guess what they shot from the 3-point line? 44%. I'm going to bring this up tomorrow because, Marlo wants to talk defense. 44%. You know what they're shooting in clutch right now? In 3? 33.
Wow.
That's 11% there.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it kills you. It kills you because you can't get any momentum. It's funny how if you make 1 3 ball, sometimes it just all gets going for them.
It stops everything. But you've got 2 or 3 guys that are, I want to call him the Dante Bichette, and I know he hit the home run in that home opener way back.
Look, who's famous for what you're talking about? Alex Rodriguez, always there at the beginning, never there in the end.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, Rod.
Great in the first 7, not so. Well, and that's why Jeter was always known and is Mr. Yankee, basically, for the modern Yankee fan, because guess what he did? He did it in the clutch.
Hitting the clutch.
He do it in the ninth inning. You got a lot of guys hitting some shots, first three, and then all of a sudden, over. In the fourth quarter, Strawther only played a minute. But you had Cam Johnson was 0 for 4. Christian Brown played a lot of minutes, no shots.
Right.
Missed 3 threes and 4 turnovers. So am I worried? Yes and no. Because just because you get Aaron Gordon back, we've already seen it once this year. A, what kind of condition is he going to be in?
Right.
And B, is he going to stay healthy?
Which is my main concern.
Yeah.
Does he come back and is he gone? And this is becoming like, remember when Forsberg would have it was always the ankle, the ankle, get back, couple good games, ankle's bugging him again. Terrell Davis, get back, couple games. Now the knee's bugging him. Now there's a cleanup.
After he got hurt,
yeah. And you, after the major injury, and you covered that team closely as voice of the team. So,
yeah, I remember when Terrell finally had that breakout game. I think it was against the Jets in New York. Had 123 yards or 103. All right. Terrell's getting back, and he was after the game. He was hurt again. Yeah, I don't know, man. But if they're healthy, I have no worries at all. But they got to get healthy. There was another stat in there. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head because I don't want to flip over. But watch. Here's the tease. Watch the pregame show. I'm gonna bring out some stats tomorrow. And I'm not Mr. Stat Guy, but everybody wants to go Mr. Stat Guy. Don't let Scott go Mr. Stat Guy. I'm gonna go Mr. Stat Guy tomorrow.
All right. Well, I think we're all looking forward to it then.
I'll send you a copy of it of my notes.
All right. Final question before we get out of here, because we're going to be trying to have a little more fun on this podcast. By the way, folks, I don't know. I just checked our feed, and we're in a weird. We're not the way I want us to be, but we'll get that fixed for next time. I promise.
Hey, we got our own little tease on 92.5.
Yeah, we do. I was watching. I don't think I've ever asked this, and if I have, then I apologize. I was watching Twister tonight. It's one of the when I'm not in the mood to find anything. There's no sports on. There's nothing else on. I'd seen all the damn sitcom replays, whatever. Right? Twister was on, so I put Twister on because it's just one of those. The old one, the original. Did you ever deal with like did that movie ever hit home? Did that spark any weird memories for you? I assumed you saw it.
Yeah. I remember as a small kid, we lived in this old house that was built in 1874.
Wow.
And it had an old basement, sandstone, limestone kind of basement. One of them old basement that should be in like Stranger Things, right?
Right. The creepy one.
Yeah, the creepy one.
Not a finished one. Not when it was like a cellar, right? No. It was literally where you just keep stuff and not spend time there.
Giant boiler in one side and like a workbench. My dad couldn't raise a hammer. My dad makes you look like Mr. Fix-It. That was, but it had a bench down there that I don't think you ever used. And I remember going down there being awakened. I'd say middle of the night, but I was probably 6 or 7, so it could have been 11 o'clock. Who knows? 7. But basically carried down to the basement and having to stay in that creepy ass basement. And that's before you had 52 flashlights laying around the house, right? I mean, I probably got
I've been in a couple of those, man. I know what you're talking about. They were like the den of you just knew a Black Widow was lurking somewhere.
You stood right where the one, and you had the string with the light bulb on.
Yeah,
was your lighting, right?
It was dusty. It was nasty. You wanted to get in and out of there. Matter of fact, most people I knew that had one like that, all they did was can some fruit or whatever, keep it down there, and then that was it.
We had to go down there.
Yeah,
we had, and the knob wasn't like a flip switch. It was the old handle thing, like
Yeah.
the clip you had to turn it. Yeah, so I remember going down there 2 or 3 times. My sister-in-law, when her oldest daughter was 2 or 3, they were driving from Wichita to Independence, or they are going to Wichita to Salina, but they're on 35 there, the main highway, and they had to pull the car off under a bridge and lay down in a culvert because and a tornado kind of went right over the top of them. So yeah, um, that story hits home a little bit.
Did you see
Joplin
the?
got decimated. Joplin got decimated 15, 20 years ago. Hit really hard, like blew an entire hospital away, I believe. And I had my best friend from high school. His parents were educators in that area, and they were driving over and staying in Joplin, working with the Red Cross, and we're over there for a couple of weeks. So yeah, no, twisters. Yeah, we never did call them twisters though. But we always called them tornadoes.
Yeah, it was always tornadoes around here too. I was always curious. I was watching it. I was wondering if I
Have
don't
you
think I'd
seen the
ever
new
ask
one?
you. No, I haven't yet. I keep waiting for it to just show up on HBO, and it hasn't yet. I'll
Well,
watch it
I'm
once
sure
it
you.
shows up.
I'm sure it's. In fact, I've watched it at home. I liked it. I thought the remake of it was pretty good.
By the way, how far did you get in Stranger Things? I heard you were trying to watch it.
I watched a couple episodes last night with my family. They didn't wait on me. I'm still like in the 5th episode
What season though?
of season 2,
Okay.
but I watched like the last episode of season 2 and the first 2 episodes of season 3 with them the other night. Season 3 is pretty good.
No, season 3 is real good. Season 4
Season
is
three,
pretty good too. It's season 5 sucks.
season 3's got the exploding rats and little things
Yeah.
are crawling out of them,
Oh
and
yeah.
the cool looking um, lifeguard gets dragged down the thing. That's where I'm at right there.
Your classic stoner guy.
Yeah,
Every
classic
school
frat
had
guy,
one.
stoner guy. All the old milfs. Straighten up with him. Mikey's mom almost hooked up with him. Come
Oh
on, man.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Come on, man. Yeah, so I'm right there in that era. Have you watched the new? Did you watch any Game of Thrones?
Not really. I've tried,
Oh my god.
but they keep.
I'm going back. I'm on episode 5. I'm starting to watch it all over again.
Oh, hey, you want to know what I was watching during that Olympic break with not a lot of sports on at night that you had to set your watch by? I rewatched the whole first season of True Detective, and oh my gosh,
Which year?
that the first season, Matt McConaughey and Woody
Yeah,
Harrelson,
that was the best one.
so good. I forgot how evil that dude is at the end, the actual dude.
Yeah,
So
that was a good series. But I watched the
yeah,
Night of the
Night
Seven.
of the Seven Kingdoms.
That's really good and it's short, and you don't have to have watched Game of Thrones, but it has a lot of the old family names that are in Game of Thrones are in this one.
Yeah, see, that's where you start to lose, man. They start with their Lannisters and the McCallahans and all this other crap, and I'm just like, all right, who's who? Who the hell is who?
But I will say this: I started going back the other night. I'm watching Game of Thrones. I'm gonna start it over, and watch it again, and it's amazing now that you know that. I mean, I was hooked the first time and watched all of them. It's amazing now going back and go, oh my god, that was a clue. Like in season 1, episode 1, I go, that was a clue that gets revealed like in season 6 or 7 or whatever it was. And oh my gosh, they mentioned the man with no face when the one hooker was laying in a bathtub with the blonde dude, the Khaleesi's brother. He's talking about how much some man that could change his face. Well, they're giving all these clues of all these characters that were going to pop up in the show. It's awesome.
Yeah, now you know. It's just a comment at the time.
I don't know how you haven't watched Game of Thrones. You got to go back and start watching that.
Did you see they're going to do a second? I think they're going to do like a second installment of Heat. Remember the movie Heat?
Well, I heard that the actors were announced, but
Not as worried about that.
no. Well, it was cool, but I mean, were they going to redo the whole thing, or is it the same character, but you're going to have a good guy, bad guy, cop? You know, is that
I don't know, dude.
day, or
I don't know.
we're going to have a major street shootout again? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's too long. I know. Sometimes you just go too long and you can't make another.
Hey, the
Look,
good thing
man.
about the Seven Kingdom one is one episode might be like 40 minutes, one's like 34 minutes, and so it doesn't kill you with like an hour and 15 or whatever.
Right.
And they're funnier. There's more funny stuff in this one.
All right, my friend. I'm watching Jurassic Park 3. I really need sports to come back in my life. So I'm glad it gets going again tomorrow.
The other night, Transformers The Last Night.
Yeah, those movies were interesting to me. They were always interesting to me because like the first one, it was a little bit nostalgic and I love the Transformer toys in the cartoon, but I don't know, some of them strayed too far away from what they were supposed to look like for me as a child. So
oh my gosh, you know, losing cool points left and right with the listening audience.
I think people in my age group know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm in your age group, and I liked it. I watched Transformer cartoons.
I don't think you did.
Oh, I did. Hey, they're making He-Man. I can't wait to see He-Man. By the power of Grayskull. Come on now. Did you not watch He-Man cartoon?
Yeah, I did. But the first movie, the live action movie was so bad. We'll see if they can do better this time.
Well, I don't even remember if I saw the other one.
I'd take a new Battlestar Galactica, by the way.
You know what? I liked
with
it.
With the Cylons and the Vipers and all that.
I was into the first couple of years. Then they kill off one of the good characters early.
I don't. Yeah, they might have. I'm talking about the original like 80s TV series. I didn't watch any of the new ones.
I didn't watch the new ones either, but Lauren Green, yeah, I watched
Lauren
Green.
Yeah.
I had to watch that because he was Pa in Bonanza. Come on now.
Do you remember what Dirk?
Oh, I get to tell you what I did at the studio. So I go in there and change the 3 TVs.
Right.
And I always put the BBC car show, right? With those 3 knuckleheads driving cars all around the world and stuff.
Yeah, I know. We're always stuck watching it because you leave it. I don't know how to change it.
Yeah, and then I took the middle one. I usually put Sports Center, and then the other one I usually put the NFL Network on. So I make everybody happy. But the other day, I was passed through live TV or something, and all of a sudden this thing popped up, and I go, oh. Flicked it on, Gunsmoke.
Yeah, the other day, that was today. We were left watching all your Westerns today.
Oh, was that today? I thought
yes.
It was yesterday. Yeah,
yes.
I had Gunsmoke on.
God, we saw some familiar character on Gunsmoke too.
It's crazy how many big stars were in that thing.
Oh yeah. And it's crazy how the film actually looks really good on modern TVs, whereas like some of the sitcoms on modern TVs don't look so good.
Right.
But if you pop on an old episode of Cheers or MASH or Gunsmoke because it was shot on film, it was amazing.
I didn't even know but that makes sense because I was surprised how good it looked. And then if you notice, Marsh Dillon's got a limp. He was wounded in World War II, I believe.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
And that's where that limp came from.
Well, there you go.
Matt Dillon and Mrs. Kitty.
Good old Matt Dillon. That's right. I'm trying to remember who the heck the actor we saw. Nate noticed him and said something about him. I can't remember and I won't remember. All right, we're going to wrap this one up. Now, hold on. So the Nuggets, I looked at the schedule. We're going to try it Tuesday, I think, again next week. But I can't remember your schedule. They've got a stretch.
I got a back-to-back Sunday, Monday. I'm home Tuesday.
Okay, we'll do it Tuesday. You do realize, like March 17th, you've got like 3 I want to say there's like 8 days and you play 2, 3, and 3 nights in 3 different cities. The first one is like back to back, fly to a third city. Then the next one is play a game, fly to a city, and then fly back home to play another game. It is the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
And then once they're past that, you get like 2 or 3 weeks of just every couple days you play a game finally.
I think we got San Antonio coming up, and we play them on a back-to-back.
Yeah, that's great because they're a problem, dude.
Yeah, they're a problem.
That team's a problem.
And we get them on a back-to-back from like home. So you play at home, fly to San Antonio, which is about 2.5 hour flight.
Right.
And oh, by the way, you lose an hour from your time zone.
Then you come back or something like that.
Yeah, then you come back, have the day, and then you play. Yeah.
Got to survive the next 3 back-to-backs. How soon do you think we see Aaron Gordon before we get out of here?
Well, David Adelman today, I believe it was today, said that he'd like to get him back with like 20 games.
Okay.
We're at 24 right now.
I was going to say, how far off are we from that?
Not far.
Well, would you bring him back now? Because there ain't no way you're playing him back-to-backs the way this is going, right? You're just going to have to be disciplined about that, aren't you?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, probably so. I doubt if you play him tomorrow, but it'd be nice. And then we leave Thursday for Oklahoma City to play Oklahoma City Friday. There you go. That's another thing to screw you. Play at home late game, fly out Thursday morning to Oklahoma City, again, lose an hour to play just one game, to fly back here to play another early game on Sunday, and then fly right out after that game to play a back-to-back on Monday in Utah.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense, man.
Yeah,
it just doesn't. And I don't know how they don't protest this somehow.
Well,
I know.
Somebody needs to start paying attention to it a little bit. And somebody and everybody said, everybody's scheduled tough. I got you. Oh, they're pro athletes. I got you. Go travel. You and I were going to do this last Tuesday, and I got and I'd flown, for All-Star break and gone. I'd flown. I hadn't drank water in like 3 days, and I was just drinking coffee and sodas. And man, I got to. I don't even know where we were now, Portland or L.A. Man, I was sick as a dog. My body was cramping up. My stomach hurt. I went to bed like at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's weird. That's kind of what I had today. Maybe it's going around. All right. We're going to do this again next Tuesday then, and we'll just keep it going. Hopefully my voice will be a little bit better, but I can't promise anything the way this last 3 months has gone, but it'll be okay. We'll make it.
You got to do a little whiskey and honey before you go to bed.
Well, you know what it wants to do is every week I got to call a Mammoth game, and I got a Mammoth game this Friday. It pulls this crap on me. So, yeah.
Maybe it's a fear thing.
No, it's a stress thing, my friend.
Oh, it's stress. What are you stressed about?
Everything. What am I? What aren't I stressed about?
I know. We're going to find Jesus.
All right. On that note, say goodbye, Diane.
Bye, Diane.
Talk to you guys next week.
Hey, where were you today?
Oh, monsieur. Wow, the